Lelouch Britannia does not fight with armies. He fights with information, and there is one trick he uses over and over. A psychological technique so effective that it works in boardrooms, in relationships, and even in online scams. Most people never see it coming, because by the time they realize they were manipulated, they have already done exactly what he wanted. Today, we are breaking down that trick, how it works, why your brain falls for it, and most importantly, how to defend against it. This is not just anime analysis. This is dark psychology decoded. If you know Code Geass, you know Lelouch, a prince in exile, a genius strategist, a terrorist leader wearing a mask called Zero. His supernatural power is Geass, the ability to give one absolute command that cannot be refused. But here is what most people miss. The real power was never Geass. It was how Lelouch used information before he ever used his ability. Think about it. Every major victory in the series happens because someone thought they understood the situation. They acted on what they knew, and then Lelouch revealed that what they knew was only the surface. The technique is called controlled information release. He gives you just enough truth to make you confident. Then he lets you act on that confidence. And when you are fully committed, he reveals the part he was hiding. At that point, it is too late. You are already trapped. Let me show you 3 times this happens. And pay attention because you will recognize this pattern in real life. Example 1. The formation of the Black Knights. Lelouch creates a rebel group to fight Britannia. On the surface, it looks like a liberation movement. Freedom for Area 11, justice for the oppressed. But that is only layer 1. Layer 2 is that Lelouch is using the Black Knights to build a power base against his father, the Emperor. Layer 3 is that he never actually cared about either goal the way his followers thought. The organization, the loyalty, the ideology, all of it was a tool for something else entirely. His followers thought they understood the mission. By the time they realized there was a deeper game, they were too invested to walk away. Example 2. The Euphemia incident. This is the darkest example, and it shows how information itself becomes a weapon. Lelouch accidentally uses his Geass on his half-sister Euphemia. He commands her to kill the Japanese people. She cannot stop herself. But here is the psychological layer most people miss. Lelouch could have hidden this, could have found another way. Instead, he broadcasts it. He turns Euphemia's tragedy into propaganda. He uses the information to radicalize an entire population. The Japanese people see a beloved princess turned mass murderer, and their fear and anger become fuel for his war. He did not create the tragedy, but he controlled how people understood it. And that control was more powerful than any weapon. Example 3. The Zero Requiem. This is the ultimate controlled release. Lelouch spends the entire series building himself up as the enemy of the world, a tyrant, a demon, someone who must be destroyed. His allies do not know the final plan. His enemies do not know the final plan. Even the viewer is kept in partial darkness. And then the reveal. Lelouch becomes the villain on purpose, so that his own assassination, staged by his best friend Suzaku, wearing the Zero mask, would unite the world against a common enemy that no longer exists. He controlled the information so completely that his own death was part of the design, and it worked. Now let me explain why this trick is so effective, and why it works on almost everyone. Psychologists call it commitment escalation. Once a person takes action based on information, they become emotionally invested in that decision. Their brain does not want to admit it was wrong. So when new information appears, they double down instead of backing out. Lelouch exploits this perfectly. He gives you partial information, you act on it, you commit, you invest time, emotion, reputation, and then he reveals the hidden layer. At that point you have 2 choices. Admit you were manipulated and lose everything you invested, or keep going and hope it works out. Most people choose to keep going. This is why cult leaders use the same technique. They do not tell you everything on day 1. They give you a beautiful vision. You commit. You cut off family, donate money, change your identity. And then the darker truths emerge. But by then, walking away feels impossible. This is why scam artists use it. The urgent investment opportunity, the limited time deal. Act now, think later. By the time you realize the full picture, your money is gone. Lelouch is fiction, but the psychology is real. Let me give you 3 places this shows up in real life. 1. Sales and marketing. Only 3 spots left. Price goes up at midnight. Everyone else is already in. This is controlled information release. They give you urgency and scarcity. They do not give you time to research the full picture. You act fast, and later you realize the deal was never as good as it seemed. 2. Toxic relationships. The love bomber. They show you a perfect version of themselves. They invest heavily early. They make you feel special, chosen, understood. You commit. You open up. You depend on them. Then the mask slips. But now you are invested. Your brain says, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe it will get better. It is the same trap. Partial information early. Full truth late. 3. Political and social manipulation. Information warfare is not about lying. It is about selective truth. Release the facts that support your narrative. Let people form opinions, argue, invest their identity. Then release the rest. But by then, nobody changes their mind. They are too committed to their position. Lelouch would make an excellent political strategist because he understands that controlling what people know and when they know it is the ultimate power. So how do you defend against this? Not by being smarter. Lelouch's victims were geniuses, soldiers, emperors. Intelligence does not protect you. You protect yourself with a habit. 3 questions, asked before any major decision. Question 1. What am I not being told? If someone is pushing you to act fast, ask what information is missing. Why the urgency? What happens if I wait? If the answer is vague, that is your warning. Question 2. Have I already invested too much to walk away? This is the hardest one. Because if the answer is yes, you are already in the trap. The sunk cost fallacy. The more you have given, the harder it is to stop. Recognize that walking away with a loss is better than walking away with nothing. Question 3. Would I make this same decision if I had all the information right now? Imagine the full picture. The hidden layer. The part they are not showing you. If the decision still makes sense, proceed. If it falls apart, stop. Lelouch wins because people skip these questions. Do not skip them. Lelouch v. Britannia is fiction. But the psychology he uses is ancient. It is in every cult, every scam, every manipulation you will ever face. The good news is that once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. If you want more breakdowns like this, how anime villains use real psychology and how to defend against it, subscribe to Silent Requiem. Next week we are going deeper. Johann Liebert, the monster who does not kill. He makes you kill yourself. I will see you then.